Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I am Taylor Jackson, a photographer from Canada. Photograph between 30 to 40 weddings per year now. I used to do 60 to 70 weddings every single year, which is a lot. I photographed over 1,000 weddings in my career. I have a book on Audible about that if you want to get into it a little bit more. But today we're talking about changes I've seen in weddings in terms of trends and in terms of business over the past couple of years. And hopefully you'll leave this podcast with a few things that you might do a little bit differently in terms of business or your copywriting or just knowing who you're talking to as a general market. And we are into the 2-day countdown, and I guess 1 day, 0.9 of a day. The pre-order for my new course that's 10 steps from taking your wedding photography business as a hobby, as a would like to do, into a full-time job and scaling that up to a real proper business. That course is coming out January 1st. And it's $399 if you buy it then. But right now, if you pre-order it, it's only $99. So if you get it the day that this podcast came out, you're saving $300. It also comes with a ton of bonuses, like my flash course for wedding photographers, which goes over my on-camera and off-camera flash strategies, as well as my email templates and a bunch of other stuff, all included as bonuses. But if you buy the course after January 1st, so you don't get those bonuses. So get in before then, save that money, and you also get a 100% money back guarantee as well. So if you sign up and it's not for you, not what you're expecting, send me an email and I'll send your money back. Now, changes I've experienced. So the big change that I've seen are, and I don't know, I guess, so this is based on my data set and the data set of my friends. My wife, Lindsay, is a wedding photographer, as well as a bunch of our close friends. And we live in Canada, so we're about an hour outside of Toronto here. I also talk with a lot of other wedding photographers all around the US and the UK, Australia, and just around the world. So this is kind of a summary of what I've heard a lot of people talking about, and it may or may not be correct for you in your exact market, although some of them absolutely will be true, I hope. This one, though, has been something that I've kind of had my eye on since, I'm going to say 2016. So when I used to book weddings, pretty much every single wedding would come with an engagement session, and that engagement session, the couple would always do it. And then maybe around 2014, 2015, 2016, I noticed that a lot of couples just never scheduled their engagement session that was in their package. And as their wedding was coming up, I didn't really know how to handle it. I'm like, I don't really want to give you money back, but also I kind of didn't do the service that we agreed upon. So I was like, I'll do a family session, like a 1 year after session, like whatever you guys want to do. Happy to convert that engagement session into something else. And honestly, maybe 1 or 2 people ever got back to me about that and ended up booking a session. And I kind of took that as a few ways. So I didn't take it as a reflection on my skills that people were like, we don't want an engagement session because you're not good at them. I didn't take it as that. I took it as if people don't want it and I'm offering it, maybe that is a disconnect to my ideal client. So if my ideal client is coming in and they don't want an engagement session and I offer an engagement session, do they think that I'm weird? Like, why is this photographer offering this weird service that we don't want? So I took it out of my base package. I think it's still in a few of my packages because it adds value, and some people still take me up on it. And I'm also offering to just take it out and remove money from the package as well. And in the first meetings, I now started asking about engagement sessions specifically, if they were interested, and I paid attention to their response in terms of body language, in terms of jokes that they would make. And a lot of people just felt like they were weird. It's like, why would we do that? That's such a strange thing. Like, yeah, we just go out and we take pictures together in a park. Yeah, that's not for us. And again, this is what I was hearing from what I would consider to be my ideal clients. And I know that there are other photographers that are always including an engagement session, and the couples are stoked on them and they put a lot of planning into it, and you work together and you plan outfits and you plan locations and you plan timing and everything. My couples just weren't that into it. Even when I was doing them often, no one really put that much effort into the overall look. I think this maybe also comes down to what I was showing, that I wasn't showing any heavily stylized engagement sessions, so people didn't really know that that's what I did. Whereas Lindsay shows really well-styled engagement sessions, and her clients come to her both to buy that thing, but then also to hopefully execute on that idea as well. So she has a Pinterest board that she sends to couples and has some different outfit ideas that work well together, and they can essentially put together an ideal couple shoot for Lindsay based on that board, so she can update it and make it her ideals, and then her couples just start showing up in those outfits. So for my changes, I've noticed, I'm going to say I'm down to maybe 35% of my couples do an engagement session, again, based on my ideal couples, as well as couples that are not older necessarily, but they're probably in the 35 to 40 range most of the time now. Whereas when I was first getting started, I was you kind of, as a wedding photographer, I think for the most part, if you are in your 20s, you're likely photographing couples that are maybe plus or minus 5 years from you. And I feel like that as you get older, that also is happening. So that could be a reflection on myself and my couples. But overall, I am down a lot on engagement sessions. I don't do them a whole lot. And I feel like that's also what I'm seeing from other friends in the industry as well. Now, the next change I've seen, it has been a few years coming now. It started with the blurry photos. So we're talking more about photography style on this one. So it started with those really out of focus blurry photos, and they were really crazy. And I feel like it's found a happy point now where with the ascent of AI and just the perfection of images and that you can make anything look beautiful, I feel like there is more value in having something that feels a little bit broken, a little not perfect, and a little bit more real. So I feel like maybe that's where the blurry photo trend started. And honestly, in black and white, some photos like that look really nice. The thing that I've noticed looking back, so there used to be a thing called spot color where I guess it still does exist and especially exists in some markets, where you would take a picture of a couple and the flowers were the only thing. Maybe the red from the flowers are the only thing that was color and the rest of the image was black and white. That has disappeared. That was always a bit of a weird trend for me, and I'm happy that it's pretty much disappeared. And I don't suspect that one will come back. One that disappeared or has disappeared for a long time that may honestly make a comeback pretty soon is adding layers of texture to images. So this was a huge thing. I'm going to say like 2008 to like 2010, 2012. Everyone was adding these texture layers to images to just like make them look dirty and grungy. And I could see an element of that coming back. I'm not going to say it's going to be the whole 100% opacity on it that it just really overtakes the image, but a subtle texture to images, I feel like at least myself and anyone that shoots film, and I feel like a lot of us actually are always looking to create those painterly feeling images. And by adding a texture, it's kind of emulating a brush stroke as long as you do it correctly. And I feel like there is value there, but I think it's important overall for any photography trend like this is to not overdo it. Don't go all in and make a full wedding gallery about it. Your couple's probably not, even if they like it right now, it's not going to be something that's going to stand the test of time. So sprinkle it in. I would say that the current thing this year and last year and maybe even the year before is the direct flash trend. So you might be familiar with it when you just slap everybody in the face with flash. And it works really, really well for some people and it works really terribly for other people. So don't go into a wedding and be like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a great set of 10 images, all direct flash. Come in with that as a skill that you have in your bag, but not necessarily one that you're going to absolutely have to execute on a wedding day. Side note here, I think it is important to learn how to use direct flash and to know how to use flash in different ways, such as bounce flash or off-camera flash, direct flash. Not only because of the artistic properties, but because of the problem-solving properties and also some of the social problem-solving properties when a couple just comes to you and they're like, hey, we really want that sparkler shot where somebody does a long time exposure painting of a heart behind us. And while it might not be your style and it might not be an image that you'd be like, yeah, I want to do that. If the couple's requesting it, I am always happy to help make their vision a reality, even if it's something that I know for sure I'm not going to be showing on my Instagram. And if you do want to learn more about flash work and how I use flash on a wedding day, there is a course that comes as a bonus in that presale. So if you get that $99 presale, you also get, I think it's $179 on its own, but you get my full flash course as well. Next trend, I'm selling a lot less books. I'm also not actively trying to sell as many books because I'm not selling books. So perhaps this is just the circle of me not selling books. And by that, I mean wedding albums, lay flat, leather-bound books. I used to include one with most of my packages, and rather than raising my package pricing, I just took those books out to make more money but not have to raise my prices. And because of that, I think I ended up selling just a heck of a lot less books overall. I think I was maybe also sold a dream that if you do the pre-design thing and you do the in-person sales, that you're going to make an extra $100 million off of every single wedding. And what a pre-design is at least in kind of the IPS world, is that you give your couple of books so they have like the this 20-page book that's included in their package, but then you design them a 60-page book and you get them to take stuff out. And obviously they can't. They can maybe get it down to 40 pages, but because of that, they're still going to owe you $100 per page on top of that. So you're making some extra money from every wedding. And while this sounded great to me as a business owner, there is massive resistance to this in Canada. I know some people are making it work, but overall, I would say it's not a business strategy that has been working for most people. So I just stopped doing it and I just focus on doing a nice day, all in one price packaging, all paid before the wedding. And the only upsell isn't really an upsell. It's whenever I give my couples the gallery. I use PickTime for delivery of this, and they have automations built in. I'll put a link down below if you do want to get set up on PickTime, who I recommend for if you want that full service gallery that does email automations and will likely print in your country or your area of the world as well. This was a problem for me using Pixieset. Even though they're a Canadian company, they don't have a printer in Canada. So all my prints are coming from the States and it's just a mess with shipping and whatnot. PickTime has solved all that. Use a link in the description below if you want, because you get a free month and you can use the first month to figure out if PickTime works for you. And if it does, awesome. If not, that's cool too. Link down below. Next up, more vertical images. This has taken me a long time. There are some people that just don't give into this at all. My friend Jason Vincent, incredible photographer. I think he still sits somewhere around the 98% horizontal images. And that's awesome. I found that for me and the way that my images are being shared most of the time, everything kind of came back to social media. That's weirdly the main reason I'm there as a wedding photographer now. Obviously, to make memories that are going to be passed down from generation to generation, and those images are important. But the primary, I would say, of my wedding image use is for social media. So rather than fighting against that current, I decided to just start doing more verticals. There's also an incredible company. So if you are on the fence that I was, that you didn't really like making reels and you're like, I'm a still image photographer. Why do I have to make these stupid short form videos? The short form videos will just get your work in front of a lot more people. I will also put a link in the description to a company called Social Templates. My friend Angela runs this. And if you use my link, I think you also get a free month as well. So what happens is you go to her hidden Social Templates page, but it's on Instagram, and you build your entire reel on Instagram and you just punch in all the images that you want and you can build a reel within a minute, which is really crazy. It's also set to trending audio, so your work is just going to get out there more in the world and be seen by more people. And there's obviously lots of benefits that any of the vendors you're working with, if you do a reel from a wedding that ends up getting 30 or 40,000 views, they're obviously going to think of you as a little bit of a rock star, and they're going to want to work with you again because, again, you're making them money. Use a link if you want to get Social Templates for a free month. See if it works for you. I guess that's another change that we've seen. That it's not as effective to post still images on Instagram any longer. Crazy. And I would say that there is another change that has come along with this that some people have accepted and some people have not accepted. Content creators. It's probably a bad word in the industry right now. And I think it's, so I'm not going to say that content creators are bad. I'm going to say that maybe us as photographers and or hybrid video creators or video creators on wedding days left something on the table that was desired by couples, and that was just short form content on their wedding day. And how easy is that for us to do? If we have a second photographer, have them do 20 or 30 clips throughout the day, piece something together nice for them on the day, and they're going to be so happy with you. So not to just put content creators out of business, but I feel like all of our roles kind of merge together. And honestly, having one less person there on a wedding day, this is the same reason I started doing hybrid photo video coverage. When we just do everything internally, the day just runs smoother and more efficient. And also, again, linking back to my ideal couples, they don't want a full team there. I haven't actually had a couple that has hired a content creator yet. I think Lindsay's had maybe 2 or 3 days that have had a content creator, but it's a bit weird because they're coming in and they're basically shooting your setups and making it look a little less good, but getting it to the couple faster. So overall, messy situation, maybe figuring itself out this year. Easy way to make it figure itself out, say that you're offering the service with your second photographer. And now the last big change I've seen, I'm sure there's been other changes that I've missed, but these have kind of been the more key ones. Hybrid photo video coverage. So I spoke a little bit about this already, and I started doing hybrid photo videos around, I'm going to say 2010. By 2012, I was offering them as part of my packages, I think. And what a hybrid photo video is that you do your regular wedding photography coverage, but then you also shoot, typically it's a slow motion music video style highlight for your couple. And they'll typically they started at, for me at least, around 1 minute in length. And now I would probably be doing them vertical because it's just an easy thing you can just put on Instagram as a reel. And the amazing thing now is you can just use popular music and you can set that to your wedding video, which is copyright questionable, but Instagram's probably going to let you do it. So you might as well. But beyond that, I like to make I would say 3 to 4 minute highlight film for my couples. And it's kind of the moments that I used to put in the blog. So it used to be a blog post and now it's just those moments in video and set to a single music track. It is something that I've been working on. I have courses on it over on the members site, taylorjacksoncourses.com, if you are interested. But I would say overall and looking forwards that a lot of us are going to be doing each other's jobs coming up pretty soon, which means that a video person could easily, I've had requests to do this. I had a number of them 2 years ago. I got like 6 or 7 of them, I think. Last year I had maybe 2 or 3 where a couple would actually ask me to come in and be video primarily, but then do some family photos and just a couple of images during the ceremony. There's like no getting ready photo coverage, no dancing coverage, maybe some speech photos just of the 2 of them. But I was there primarily as a video person first, just as myself. And this kind of signal, like I was like, this makes sense to me because if I was hiring someone, this is probably what I would want, or at least something similar. Maybe there's a vertical video element as well. But I do think that photography and video are merging, especially in the middle ground space and especially in the discount space. Couples with unlimited budgets and a true passion for somebody to come in and make a Hollywood level film for them. They're obviously still going to go about and do that. But I think for the general diversity of your business, it is important to at least explore the idea of hybrid. Not only has it helped my wedding days, but it's also helped my commercial business. That most commercial jobs that I go into, there is a photo and a video element. And it used to be that I would shoot with another team, that they would hire another crew to come in and I would take the pictures that I would need and then they would do the video and then we'd go back and forth. Sometimes you're able to do both at the same time, but often it was just messy and it could have been a lot more efficient. So by doing both, you at least unlock that ability to offer that package and offer those commercial packages as well. That is all for the podcast today. If you are interested in getting in that pre-order, it is available until December 31st, 2024 at midnight Eastern time. After that, it goes up to $399. But if you get in before then, $99, 100% money back guarantee. Lots of bonuses come with it as well. Get in before it's gone. I'll see you next time.